Welcome to Elite Weather Forecasting. My name is Dooley Goodell. I'm your meteorologist here with you on your Monday afternoon. I hope you guys are having a good day out there. We are observing the Juneteenth holiday today, so some folks didn't have to work today. And if you didn't have to work, I hope you're having a good day. And if you did have to work, I hope you have a successful day and have a safe journey home. And you're able to beat the heat, as many folks out here are dealing with some excessive heat, especially across the northern plains through Minnesota down through Iowa and the Dakotas and Kansas and Nebraska. You're seeing those triple digits. We are had a high temperature of 101 degrees here in the Twin Cities and 70-degree dew points. So that heat index is about 108, 109, as that heat is very oppressive right now, as we have had an exceptionally hot day. Very unusual weather here across the Twin Cities. The funny thing about the Twin Cities is how that today we are looking at a high of 108, but if you go 6 months from now, take us down through the bottom of the year, through December and January, where we could be 50 below. So we are talking about as much as a 150-degree temperature swing here across northern, central, and southern Minnesota. So a very wide range of weather conditions that we can experience here in Minnesota, as we have extremely cold winters. The winters are brutal. The summers are gorgeous here, with the exception of occasionally heat and humidity can be a problem, but that's going to help get the mosquitoes active. So if you're camping this weekend or out in the wild, out in the wilderness, good luck with those skeeters. They are tearing your butt up today. But our city of the day is going to be Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yes, the second largest city in Oklahoma. Is also got the Bank of Oklahoma Tower here. Very nice city out there. So I lived in Tulsa for about a year or so, back in about maybe 2002 or so, before I moved to Minnesota. And I got to spend a year here in the city of Tulsa. And we used to work for a radio station out there, KBZ. So if you're in the Tulsa area and you're familiar with KBAS, KBZ, shout it out, because that's where I used to work during my radio station days back there in the 90s and 2000s. But anyway, a little bit of channel maintenance here. So if you guys watching this video and you're liking this video, please feel free to click that like button and leave your comments down in the comment section. I would love to know what city or state you're watching from and what you got plans and going on today. How did you spend your weekend? Just leave those comments down in the comment section. And any weather questions you might want to ask, I will take the time to look at all your comments and answer your questions, okay? And subscribe to the channel, because that helps us with the YouTube algorithm. It helps me to grow the channel and get these weather forecasts out there. And talking about those hot temperatures, we're seeing those hot temperatures all over the central plains in the Midwest today. And let's take a look at where we're seeing some showers and thunderstorms too, because that heat and humidity is also fueling some thunderstorms out there. So now let's take a jump and take a look at the national radar, as we see clear conditions here across the upper Midwest to the Great Lakes, down through the Mississippi Valley, down to the Gulf Coast. We do have a few showers and storms along the immediate coast, as well as down in Florida. We're seeing a few showers here across the mid-Atlantic states and the Piedmont area of the Carolinas, and that's taking us through West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, parts of Ohio as well, and into southern Canada. You're seeing some showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two in your area. And here across the central plains, the northern plains through northwestern Minnesota and North Dakota here, we're seeing storms that could be severe. We may even see some tornadoes here across North Dakota this afternoon, and we'll see some more severe storms down here across South Dakota and Wyoming, parts of southeastern Montana as well. We're seeing the potential for heavy rainfall and some severe weather, and that monsoonal moisture is going to extend all the way down into New Mexico, parts of eastern Arizona, through Tucson and Albuquerque, Deming and Lordsburg, where we are seeing some flash flooding issues through parts of New Mexico, as we're seeing some heavy rainfall, as they just dealt with the Calf and Hermit fire that burned almost 400,000 acres through parts of central New Mexico, the largest fire in New Mexico history, and now they have to deal with heavy rainfall over those same burn areas. So there's going to be flash flooding issues because of the loss of that vegetation that is going to loosen that soil. So mudslides is going to be an issue down here in the Southern Rockies sections of New Mexico out there. So that is a look at our national radar right now and where we're seeing any rainfall or storming that's taking place out there across America. And as we talk about our weather today, let's get into it and talk about those watches and hazards out there. We have our flooding issue here through New Mexico, this large area here from the Colorado border down to the Mexican border through central Colorado, through central New Mexico. We are dealing with some heavy rainfall as some of those thunderstorms are, and there's going to be have some flash flooding issues there. We see our heat watching effects here across the northern plains, Wisconsin and Minnesota, as well as Nebraska and South Dakota as well. We're seeing those triple digit temperatures and 70 plus degree dew points, so it's going to make things very hot and uncomfortable there. And we're seeing our excessive heat watch warning here through central Minnesota over into northwestern Minnesota, where we're seeing those heat indexes in excess of 110 degrees. And we also have our high wind warning here through parts of the Dakotas and Wyoming as well. This is the I-80 corridor right there that's headed over towards Salt Lake City and San Francisco. So if you're on I-80, you know about those winds through like Gillette, Wyoming, and through Cheyenne and things like that. So if you're on that I-80 corridor, you're very well aware of how windy it can be there across the high plains. So that is a look at our watches and hazards right now. Here's the GFS. In the GFS, we are going to talk about what we're seeing out there, and here that with those tight isobars here through the plains into the northern plains in the upper Midwest here, the Great Lakes, and we're seeing those tight isobars because we have a lot of wind here. This huge area of high pressure out here over the eastern, the mid-Atlantic here. This area of high pressure has that huge clockwise flow and is drawing up that warmth and moisture here along its backside. This is called return flow, and we have this potent area of low pressure here across the northern Rockies in conjunction with this guy and this guy. They're both in tandem pumping that warm air from the southwest and the Gulf of Mexico north through the plains and into the upper Midwest today near the Canadian border. We're seeing thunderstorms over the border into Canada, as over here across Alberta and Edmonton and Calgary as well. We're going to be seeing some more scattered showers and storms here across the northern Rockies into the Glacier National Park area. We're going to be seeing those showers and thunderstorms today. Flash flooding is going to be expected in this region. Also more more storms here through the central Rockies down into Mexico, where we're seeing scattered showers that could cause some flash flooding this afternoon. And here's tomorrow's GFS outlook. And we're seeing that area of low pressure here now through Canada, and it's going to be whipping those winds here, are now going to move from the northwest to the northwest now, as we have that frontal boundary that's going to be moving through today, and it's going to be cooling things down here across the northern plains. But we'll still see the temperature reach at least 90 degrees for your Tuesday, but it will start to drop later in the day as we start to get those northwest winds on the backside of this area of low pressure here. That high pressure is going to move out over the Atlantic, so we're going to start to lose some of that guy's influence. But this low pressure center will begin to cool things down here across the Great Lakes area and into the northeast. But it will spark some showers and storms out there tomorrow through the parts of the mid-Atlantic into the northeast. More showers and storms will continue down here through New Mexico and eastern Arizona. So from Tucson east through New Mexico, we're going to be seeing afternoon thunderstorms as that monsoon moisture continues to to penetrate the desert southwest here, and we'll see some showers and storms here along the Canadian border. The high plains and northern Rockies will pick up a few showers as well, as we have this influence from this area of low pressure. Is there going to be a frontal boundary that's going to be hanging out across southern Canada and the U.S. border area right there? Here we are for your Wednesday. So Wednesday, that Canadian area of low pressure moves a little bit off to the north and east there through into northeastern Canada, and you see it's going to have a lot of wind and some rainfall. And it's also going to have a trailing cold front here across the northeast, so it's going to be able to produce some showers and some storms there through the mid-Atlantic and the northeast states. And we'll see dry conditions persist here across the southeastern United States and over the Great Lakes. Maybe a shower here too along the Canadian and U.S. border, and more monsoonal moisture down in the desert southwest through New Mexico and southern Arizona. Another shower here near the Canadian-U.S. border through British Columbia. You might see some showers and storms along the U.S. border. For the most part, things are going to kind of dry out across the nationwide, from west coast to the east coast. We're going to see a lot less in the way of precipitation, but that heat is going to persist. And here we are with a look at the heat across the central United States. And you see that 101 here in Minnesota, 94 down there in Rochester. You're seeing those upper 90s, 99 up here in Fargo and Moorhead. So you're seeing those 100 degrees here in Omaha, Nebraska. We're seeing those triple digits. 103 down here in Dallas, Fort Worth. Austin, you guys had a high 102, 100 in San Antonio, 100 in Houston as well. So you're seeing that hot weather here through the Central Plains and through the Mississippi Valley down to the Gulf Coast. So it's a lot of hot weather out there, but we're going to see a little bit of relief over the next couple of days, because there is a cold front. There is a frontal boundary right about here, as you can see, where temperatures kind of fall to the 80s from those 90s here, but yet they're in the 80s here. So there's a frontal boundary right here. You can kind of see it here in these map colorings. You can see where that front is, and that is going to move on off to the east there. So eventually it's going to push those hot temperatures to the east and south there. So you may get a little bit of relief over the next coming days or so. And here's our national forecast after our analysis there. And our severe weather watch for today is going to be here across the northern plains and the upper Midwest, the high plains here in Nebraska, and through parts of Nebraska, the Dakotas, and Montana, and northwestern Minnesota. And we've got to have that enhanced risk for severe weather today. And we're going to be seeing that potential for heavy rainfall with some flash flooding again over here through parts of northwestern Montana and through New Mexico. Heavy rain from those gully washers we're going to be seeing from today. And that's because from all the fires we saw either last year or earlier this year. And there's a lot of loose soil out there. So flash flooding is going to be an issue. Or it's been exceptionally dry and the ground is really hard and it's not able to absorb a lot of that heavy rainfall, so it just runs off. So that flash flooding issue is going to be there. But here across the northern plains, we have this frontal boundary here and an area of low pressure, and this is going to provide the focus for some severe thunderstorms. We're talking some pretty hefty storms here that could produce 80+ mile-an-hour winds, 3-inch diameter hail, some gorilla hail is going to be possible, and some large tornadoes also here across the Dakotas and northwestern Minnesota is going to be a possibility for you guys. So please pay attention to your local weather conditions. And not only is this severe weather, it's excessively hot. And that heat and humidity is going to provide fuel for that severe weather. And we're seeing beautiful dry weather here across the upper Midwest, through the mid-Atlantic states, through the Appalachians down to the Gulf Coast. Just a few showers here along this frontal boundary here along the Gulf Coast. And then we have this trough going through the southern plains. But this is going to provide the focus to pop off a few afternoon non-severe storms down there along the Gulf Coast and through the state of Florida. And our monsoonal flow down here through the desert southwest, New Mexico, Arizona, through Colorado as well. We're going to be seeing those elevated thunderstorms and that flash flooding for your day out there on your Monday. And then here across the western United States, Nevada and the California, dry conditions as well. Also dry in the Pacific Northwest. Seattle and Portland gets a dry day today and temperatures in the 80s. So a lot of nice weather on the West Coast for your Monday. And for your Tuesday, we're going to see that Canadian low lift up into Canada now. We're going to see that area of low pressure. So we're going to lose a lot of situations where we see our severe weather. Now, we do have this frontal boundary here that's slowly making to the east. It doesn't have a lot of energy behind it to push it along there, but it will slowly drag across the northern plains and into Minnesota. So we can see some scattered storms here across southeastern Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, northwestern Missouri, Kansas, as well as southeastern Nebraska there. So Omaha into Des Moines, Kansas City. We're going to be seeing some afternoon showers and storms. No severe weather. Maybe a slight chance of severe weather right in here through parts of Iowa into Wisconsin. Only isolated severe and more potential here for flash flooding through central New Mexico for your Tuesday as well. And that chance for thunderstorms from Phoenix east toward the New Mexico border and right up against the Mogollon Rim. You guys might see some scattered thunderstorms for your Tuesday out there. And we're going to see dry conditions here across the southeast for the most part, and isolated storms across the Gulf Coast. A couple isolated storms here in the northwest as well, as we have this warm front area here, because that's that warm air beginning to move into your area. So you might see some scattered showers and storms in the afternoon for your Monday. Dry weather here across most of the Pacific Northwest and the Rockies and the High Plains for your Tuesday as well, as that frontal boundary tries to start to dry things out. And here we are as we take a look at your Wednesday. That cold front really pushes out to the east now, and it's taking some of that cooler air, bringing it in here across the northern plains that many of you have suffered over the last couple of days with that heat and high dew points there. But we're going to start to see a little bit cooler weather as that cooler air comes down out of Canada into the central plains here. But we will see scattered showers and storms along this frontal boundary and on this warm front, so we got a little triple point there. But it's going to be only an isolated severe risk through this region, and we might see some scattered showers from the big cities of New England down through the mid-Atlantic states into the Piedmont area of North Carolina. But to the south of that, through South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, and along the Gulf states, we're going to see nice weather conditions over into Texas, where we're going to see those temperatures still hanging out in the 90s, as that front has not passed through your area yet. But you will see more in the way of some monsoonal moisture here and that flash flooding through parts of the central New Mexico as well. So Phoenix and Tucson, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, more showers and storms for your forecast on your Monday. And we may even start to see some desert thunderstorms here through California. So Southern California might actually start to see some afternoon isolated desert thunderstorms over the San Bernardino Mountains out there. So I remember as a kid growing up in LA, when I really first started to get into the weather, I remember that I would sit in our backyard and I could look to the east at the mountains, because I live down in the LA basin, but you can see the San Bernardino Mountains and the San Gabriel Mountains. And I remember looking at those big cumulonimbus clouds hanging out over the tops of the mountains. And it's kind of have died off over the last several years, but it was really common when I was a kid. But climate change and things have really changed the nature of how these storms behave. But it's good to see this on a map. But we may see those desert, mountain and desert thunderstorms even in Southern California through the deserts out there of San Bernardino. So Palm Springs, Lancaster, Palmdale might see an afternoon thunderstorm. So I'm kind of excited about those possibilities, because it brings back the memories of seeing those storms when I was a kid, because I can watch them from a great distance and see the lightning even over LA in the evening hours. All right, that is a look at our local forecast. Here's our severe weather outlook. Okay, so our severe weather outlook, we got this this orange here, and this is that enhanced risk for severe weather. This is where we could see our tornadoes possible today. We got northwestern Minnesota, southeastern North Dakota, and central to northeast South Dakota there. So this is where we're going to see our worst weather. So that 3-inch diameter hail, 80-mile-an-hour winds, flash flooding, heavy rain, and maybe a couple of strong tornadoes is going to be possible this afternoon in that region. In the yellow, we're going to be seeing scattered severe, not much of a tornado threat with that, but large hail and damaging wind and some excessive rainfall. And in our dark green is our slight risk, our isolated risk. So our marginal risk for severe weather, and that's just going to be isolated thunderstorms. The tornado threat will mostly be in this orange region here for your Monday afternoon. And here we are for your Tuesday. Tomorrow we're just only going to see a marginal risk for some stronger pole storms right here. This will be heavy rain and maybe some small hail, a couple of 50, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. In this region, some of the strong thunderstorms, strong to marginally severe in the afternoon for your Tuesday. But here we are for your Wednesday. That shifts a little bit to the east and northeast and gets a little bit bigger as our front is kind of arching here. So it's kind of get a little bit more robust as this kind of comes around that curve of that trough. So we're going to see a little bit of an increase in energy here. So we got a little bit larger area of our marginal risk for severe. And that threat is going to be that heavy rainfall, maybe some hail, and a little bit of damaging winds, 60 miles per hour or so. But no tornadoes to worry about for the most part there. But an isolated spin up could always happen when we're dealing with some severe weather. So that is a look at our severe weather outlook. My name is Julie Godot. Thanks for watching today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave your likes, your comments, and please feel free to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Have a great day.